So here we are at the Dream Team launch with Brad Arthur, the Leeds Rhinos head coach. Brad, thanks for agreeing to have a quick chat. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
So how have you found your first full season at the Rhinos? It's been a hell of a year for you.
Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it. I've often said that it was always a tough decision whether I was able to stay or not for family reasons, but the playing group and the club and the staff and the support, where the club's at, and how good of people are, made it really hard to leave. So that was a big factor in me wanting to stay, and I've really enjoyed it, and the buy-in from the group wanting to get better. And we've had a pretty good season, and I feel like we've improved. We've still got a bit to go, and I don't think we're at our best or where I think the team can get to, but that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think it's a massive improvement year on year. I think everybody can see that. From your perspective, obviously a couple of your players are being put into the Dream Team today, inducted into the Dream Team. Jake will come on to him in a minute, but really delighted for James McDonald. I think he's had an incredible season in second row.
He has, and he's one of those guys you probably take for granted a bit. I do as a coach, because he's just ever reliable. He turns up every week. I don't have to worry about what Macca's turning up. I know he's going to be physical for me. I know he's going to really come with that effort. And he just gets through his work, and he does a lot of the tough, gritty stuff. He grinds well. He makes it hard for opposing halves, like physically to handle him. So I'm really pleased for him. And he trains the way he plays. He trains at the same level of intensity. And so it's not a fluke that he plays like that every week.
Good on this pro. And that must make, obviously, the loss of Morgan Gannon a little bit easier, his form.
Yeah, and Ganno's had a great year too, so I'm pretty lucky there, but yeah, look, Macca's only going to get better. There's some parts of his game that he wants to continue to evolve and develop. Like he's a good, strong carrier of the ball, but he can probably back his skill a bit more and do a bit more of the ball. He can kick the footy. So the real pleasing thing with Macca is he's a really good defender. Yeah. He's a really good defender as a back row. Puts pressure on the opposition.
Absolutely. And of course, I think the signing of Callum Watkins has been inspired as well, especially with Cam Smith's injury problems. He's really stood up well for him.
Yeah, no, he has in his leadership. He doesn't say a hell of a lot, but he's just all action-based, and he's prepared to do the tough work. He's prepared to make sacrifices for the team, whatever's best for the team, get moved around from position to position, like he's never complained and just, and sometimes he doesn't want to, have to move down to the centres, but if that's what's best for the team and needed, he just does it. So he's him and Ryan Hall have been really good pros in terms of how they look after themselves, how they prepare themselves, recover to make sure that they've had longevity in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You need players like that, don't you? Yeah. Let's go on to Jake. I don't know how much you knew of Jake Connor before you come over to
not a lot.
Game. Jake's got bags of talent. Everybody's always known that, but for whatever reason, he's never really, for me, clicked in like he has this year.
Yeah.
How much of that is down to you and what?
Well, it's down to his teammates and and the rest of the staff. But we've just, we just set some standards and expectations around what all the group's got to do. And and I was very clear to him when he came over. I could see the little limited opportunities I'd had to watch him. I could see his ability. So there was no questioning that, but just need to put him into an environment and, and a attention to detail and specifics around game model on how we wanted to play and then how he fits into it. And, and he had to buy into it. He's had to work hard. He's had to front load and work on his effort areas. He's had to have a physical approach to his game. And then all his skill set, that's from other coaches, and him naturally is gifted. So we haven't had to do any work on that. He understands the game really good. He's developed into a halfback, which is a bit of a different role to what he's used to in the past. But he's worked really hard. And, I've been firm, and I think I've been fair with him, but I've been firm and just, I don't care how good his talent was. There was things that he had to meet along the way, like the rest of the group, or he wasn't going to be able to play the way we wanted him to play. So he's had to buy into it. And look, he made those choices to do it, so we can't force him to do it.
Oh, delighted. At the end of the day, we want to see the best players perform at their optimum level, and he's certainly doing that for you this season. It's been an incredible year in terms of the development and the improvement of the Leeds Rhinos. You're not finished yet. Of course, you're going up against St Helens at the weekend. Old Trafford, that obviously now is the goal. Has that come sooner, or was that always the plan for this year?
Oh, look, we always said we wanted to be better than we were last year, and I felt like we should we should be playing finals.
Yep.
You know, from what I've seen from the group at the end of last year, and we're close to sort of maybe sneaking in at the back end of the year. And with one pre-season, I said, you know, 2 pre-seasons would be great with this group, but with one pre-season, I see how hard they worked and what good a condition they came back to day one to realise that they were hungry, and they asked for accountability and high expectations. It's easy to ask for it, but then you got to live it, and they've delivered on that. You know, look, but our staff, the staff have been really good too. You know, like a lot of the guys in our staff are probably, you know, even our high performance manager, you know, like a touch inexperienced, but give him an opportunity, and he's just, you know, blossomed. And you know, Grixie and Langers, you know, with the work they've done around our defence, and Grixie, you know, he's done a lot of work with Jake, Chev with the young guys. So look, the club's heading in the right direction. You know, our reserve grade won on the weekend, our 18s.
Yeah.
You know, and all
the academy final this weekend.
That's right, and 10 or 11 of those guys are going to back up. So it shows the club's in the right, you know, heading in the right direction. But there's no reason why we can't do something now. Like, yeah, like there's no reason at all. But I think there's 5 other teams all thinking the same, because I think every team in this final series is good enough, and has showed that on their day they're good enough. But it's just which team can find their day three weeks in a row.
Well, you've shown that, haven't you? And arguably, perhaps one of the tries of the season, the one against KR, which was absolutely wonderful. I mean, look, we need a competitive Leeds Rhinos in this country. You're delivering that, you, your team, your staff. On behalf of all the neutrals, thanks for everything that you're doing in terms of enhancing the competition this year, and we wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate it. It's a great competition, and you know, like maybe some of us Australian-based guys didn't respect it enough, but I've developed a big respect for the game here.
Fantastic. Well, go well and enjoy having your son over here as well next year.
Thank you. Thank you.